Hi, most of you know me already. Ruth Amazonia from the Eating Disorder Institute, or Eurytopia. And before I do anything else, I'm just going to introduce you to this little book written by Gwyneth, a step-by-step guide to recover from eating disorders, because I just want to make the point that I'm standing on the shoulders of a giant whenever I talk about anxiety. Her information was the bridge that the bridge that gapped my bridge.
It's a great bridge.
It was a bridge gapper. Her information anxiety helped me bridge the gap from being stuck in an eating disorder to getting on the path to remission and staying there. And what this whole video series is going to be about is anxiety. Anxiety. You hear it all the time. You read it all the time on the Eating Disorder Institute. You come and talk about overshoot, about the swelling in your hands, about the pain in your knee, headache, something that's happening with your skin, something your parents said, something that's happening at school, your ability to sleep, not sleep. And Gwyneth usually will say, get some therapy from someone who knows something about anxiety. I'll often say it. I always say it on our page here, on the pages in Facebook that I use, that I'm on. There are pages and they're in Facebook. And sometimes there is a kind of a frustration that comes back from the person asking the question or putting the problem out there. Why are you telling me to go and get some help with anxiety when I'm talking to you about the size that my body is and the fact that my underpants don't fit me anymore and I can't bend over and I can't do my shoes up and it really, really hurts when I walk up the stairs? What is the connection between that and anxiety and therapy? This is my niece. I forgot about it completely. Amy, who is an anxiety warrior. There's no two ways about it, because she's got her own personal story to do with anxiety, depression, shame, trauma, grief, you name it, all of the human stuff tucked in there. But she has an amazing skill at editing and creating videos and entertaining people. Together, hopefully, we'll offer you some things that might help you get unstuck, to get past the point where you're in a never-ending spiral of anxiety that keeps connecting with itself, feeding itself, and you don't seem to be able to move on, to pass on to the next stage of your recovery. Yeah. The first thing that needs to be talked about is why. Why anxiety? What's the focus on anxiety? Amy and I were talking about this the other day, trying to kind of nut out what it was that we see in a lot of work around people recovering from anxiety and depression. And what we hear is people talking about the things that anxiety fixates on. You'll hear people using terms like, your anxieties around this, your anxieties around that, your anxieties to do with some other thing. But what those sources of information often miss out is the idea of anxiety as an actual state, a physiological state that affects you in a profound number of ways, and that has nothing to do with the things that it fixates on. I'll give you an example. When you are stressing about overshooting and you have to leave the house and you get onto Facebook and you write a little message saying, guys, help me, I've overshot to X amount and I just can't get out of the house today. Could you help me? Please, someone help me with this. Someone tell me what happens. Am I going to get out of this overshoot? Will my body ever be smaller? Will I be able to wear smaller clothes? Will I be a normal person again? We imagine when we ask questions like that the overshoot is the issue, that what we're stressing about is the actual overshoot. But what we're dealing with in that moment is anxiety, a physiological state that affects every aspect of our body. Our heart rate will be higher, our temperature will be affected one way or the other, there'll be unpleasant feelings, maybe digestive issues, aches, pains, stiffness, rigidity, and a sense of panic, breathing up in the upper part of our body, not really being able to take a deep breath, a multitude of things. That's the issue that you're dealing with, not the overshoot. It's the actual physiological state that is bringing up feelings that you then try and make sense of. And of course you fixate on the thing that we all fixate on, oops, our body. My body is the wrong size, wrong shape, it's the wrong number in the back of my clothing. And when Amy and I were talking about this the other day, we talked about the idea of a switchboard, an enormous switchboard, if you can imagine it, and I think Amy will edit something in here. Imagine that there's an enormous switchboard in front of you, and you're standing panicking, trying to switch this switch off, this switch down, this switch on, those three off. And every time you switch something off over here, another few come on over here. So your entire time is spent trying to switch these switches, trying to do something to make this feeling, this sensation stop.
It's my problem! We're doomed!
When we deal within the sphere of anxiety, when we keep thinking about and focusing on the things that anxiety focuses on, we are the person standing in front of that switchboard frantically trying to make a difference here. What we hope to do, excuse me Amy, is to take you off the switchboard over here to the master switch, the thing that controls the switchboard.
Crisis has been averted. Everything is super.
Imagine if, with all of the anxieties that you focus on, all of the things that cause you concern in your daily life, particularly to do with recovery, you're able to get in front of one switch and go, I'm going to dial it down as if you had a dimmer, or I'm going to switch it off altogether. And that entire switchboard went blank, and the only switch you were interested in at that point was the master switch. We'll talk about that master switch for $10. No, kidding. There's no offer coming with this. This has been the key for me, changing my way of functioning, my way of responding to almost every aspect of my daily life, responding to almost every person that I come in contact with. I'm practicing, like Gwyneth talks about, I'm practicing remission, so I'm not perfect at this. I still have surges of panic and anxiety. I still have surges of rage that I find difficult to manage, or a plethora of other emotions. It's not talking about making you into some perfect Stepford wifey robot person. Burr, burr, burr. I have no feelings. It's just, well, I do. It's helping you become more competent in identifying what is it that you're dealing with, and you're standing in front of the mirror and you're looking at your body in overshoot and going to pieces and thinking that it's your body causing this. It's really helpful if you can peg it back and saying, this is my anxiety that's causing this response. And I don't need to do anything about my body. I need to come over here and I need to focus on the source of my anxiety, do something about it, change my life. Hopefully it will change yours, and hopefully you have some fun along the way.
And to share it, like, I just want to, like, when I look at it, it's almost like if I'm in the midst of that freak out and I recognize that freak out as being the anxiety switches on, it's the most empowering thing to be able to go straight to that switch and turn it down and do certain things that'll just take away that fear, that panic, that intensity. Then it no longer matters whatever all these little things were before. It's like they dissolve, and you have freedom. And the sense of relief that goes through your system is powerful and emotional and liberating.
We are here to liberate you. I've taken a YouTube channel, or created one. And when I say that I've created one, I've actually just signed up for it and called it something. And Amy, because she is the absolute social media whiz, is going to help me navigate that. So what that means is I'll be getting in front of the camera sometimes, and all of the masterminding and the wonderful special effects that come with this will come straight from Amy, but I'll claim it as mine. If you ever feel that you're really grateful for information that comes from me, A lot of it is from my experience for sure, a lot of it's from my years of studying and teaching in the world of communication. But the connection between anxiety and the way that I have functioned for all of my life, and hopefully that message comes to you as well, the connection was made for me by Gwyneth Olwen, who I will always be able to hand over that acknowledgement to. That she's the one who really sourced it out and has kept repeating and repeating and repeating. This is not an issue with your body, this is not a disorder of your body or your weight. This is a disorder of your neurobiology. There is something in your neurobiology that keeps you in a state of anxiety, and by addressing the neurobiology, you can bring that state of anxiety down and function much more effectively and sleep better and eat better, digest better, and give the flick to all those issues of body image and social anxiety. And it won't be a magical cure, but you'll become more competent at it the more you apply it.